Hello everybody, welcome back to another Farming Simulator 22 Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at American Farmlands. But before that, this video is brought to you by CBW Farms, LLC, and Kerry Mullins. Thank you for being farm barons. The American Farmlands map can be found over at the FarmingSimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu, and as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Let me read you a little bit of the description. Welcome to American Farmlands, a sandbox style map for those with a creative imagination. This map includes American Midwest feel, sandbox style of play, working AI routes, starter farm with one field in new farmer mode, a grain sell point, Bale sell point, a train sell point, animal dealer, vehicle workshop, small to large farmland sizes, 62 buyable farmlands, 100 wooden Elm Creek collectibles. The map is precision farming ready with a custom soil map. In addition, there is a custom animal food for sheep, cows, and chickens, additional paintable textures, additional paintable foliages, paintable fields, Midwest U.S. seasonal weather integrated, custom crop prices, and much, much more. Let's go ahead and load on in. Now, we are going to use the mods that we typically use when we take a look at maps. That is additional field info, additional game settings, field lease, field calculator, and precision farming. Bring up the log. Now, I will say that if you load this map up in farm manager mode or start from scratch, you will find the starting farm is completely void of buildings. But you do have starting machinery in all play modes. In addition, in start from scratch and farm manager mode, you do not own any land at the start. We load into the map for the very first time. We start out here at our farmhouse, and here is our starting farm. Let's go ahead and take a look at this PDA. And as the description said, this is a sandbox map, or what I have typically referred to as a wilderness style map. This is a make your own map type of map. As such, we do have all the standard crop types available to us in Farm Sim 22. And if we take a look at the lands area, you'll see we start out by owning Farmland 31, which can be bought for $181,862 in Farm Manager or start from scratch. In addition, we have rather square-shaped fields. For example, Farmland ID 21 is $373,000. Then we have 4 smaller plots that are basically the same size as the larger plot, 8.88 hectares. These are smaller, 2.22 hectares, $106,560. We have the plots along the road, which are kind of narrow, but rather long. They are 3.87 hectares in size. And then we've got a couple larger plots down here to the south and to the southeast, with the largest plot being Farmland ID 61 at 33.52 hectares, or just over $1 million to buy. The entirety of the map can be bought, including the sell points, the animal dealer, as well as the vehicle dealer. And there is a very, 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 very small area over here at Farmland 60 that is set up for basically placeables or anything else you might want to put down. But quite frankly, the entire map is in grass, aside from the main road here and the crossroads and the train tracks. So really, you can do whatever you want with this map. As I said, the make your own map, sandbox map, as the author has put it, or what I have been typically calling these wilderness maps. Let's go ahead and take a look at our farmland lease screen. This should show you pretty much the same picture as we saw earlier. We've got farmlands that are between 8.8 and 9 hectares in size, farmland IDs that are around 2 hectares in size. Then we've got some larger farmlands to the south. You can see how those farmlands are priced out there as well. Take a look at our field calculator screen. Well, in new farmer mode, we start out with just one field, and this is not going to show us our fields if we create our own fields. It's going to show us predefined fields. So in new farmer, we start out with one field. It is 1.71 hectares in size. Taking a look at our crop counter. Now, the description says that we have Midwest U.S. seasonal weather integrated. When I look at this crop counter, it looks extremely similar to the base game crop counter. If there are any differences, they are very, very subtle. But possibly what the map author is meaning here is temperature and snow, rain, frequency, stuff like that. But this does look like the base standard FS22 crop counter. Taking a look at our prices screen, you will see that we do indeed have the ability to sell all of our base game crops that are available to us in Farm Sim 22. We do not, for whatever reason, have the ability to sell wood. There is no wood sell point on the map. Now, there really aren't any trees on the map that you're going to be cutting down anyway. But if you do go and place your own trees, you will also need to put down your own sawmill and or your own log sell point. We do have sell points for wool, eggs, and milk. And then in addition to that, we also have sell points for hay, straw, and grass. And we do indeed have the ability to sell all of our base game production items that are available with the standard FS22. Now, what we do not have the ability to do is we do not have the ability to sell any of the Platinum Expansion production items. So if you own the Platinum Expansion and you wish to get into any of that, well, first off, you're going to have to put down some trees, because a lot of these are going to require logs. And second off, you will need to put down your own sell point that is going to work for selling those items. Taking a look at our starting fleet, we start out with a fairly basic starting fleet. All of it is new, none of it is leased, and it is all owned. We do not have any animals at the start. We will be putting down some animal pins to check out the custom animal requirements. We do not have any contracts because there are no predefined fields on this map other than the one single field that we own. We do not have any production chains. In fact, this map does not have a single production chain pre-placed. We do have our 100 Elm Creek collectibles as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting fleet. Start out with the John Deere 4755 medium tractor as well as the 7810 medium tractor. We have the Dutzfar Topliner 4090H harvester that is paired up with the 4090H header, and then of course the 4090H header trailer. We got our 1986 pickup truck. We have the Welger DK115 trailer. We have the Agramaz POV5XL plow. We have the Rabe EG39 cultivator. We have the Nordstein HK25NS 3030 power harrow and seeder combination. We've got a pair of 750 kilogram front weights. And we have the Convey-All 1690 conveyor belt and the Meridian TL1239 auger. Just back here real quick, we do not have any custom vehicles or implements that are a part of this map either. Now, if we come here to our precision farming screen, I'm going to tell you that this map does indeed have a custom soil map. And if we expose the soil map, which we're not going to do here because we only have one field, if we expose the soil map, the entirety of field 1 is in loam. How is that going to compare across the entirety of the rest of the map? I do not know. But I do know that if you are playing in new farmer mode, you have field 1. If you do your soil testing on that, you're going to find the entirety of field 1 is set to loam on this map. Let's go ahead and take a look at build mode. There are no custom sheds that are part of this map. Same goes with respect to silos. This is basically a base game silo. Really don't know why it's listed here, but you can see it's the 3608 flat bottom bin at 980,000 liters. And if we come over here, we have the 3608 flat bottom bin standard, again 980,000 liters. There are no custom silo extensions, containers, or tools. We do have our farmhouse that we can pre-place. That is a part of the build mode. There are no custom production items, sell points, greenhouses, orchards, or generators. We do not have any custom animals, but we do have some custom animal food requirements, and we will be taking a look at those here in a little bit. We have all standard decorative elements, and let's take a look at our landscaping paintable textures. We have the ability to paint cultivated ground. We have the ability to paint plowed ground. We also have animal mud. asphalt, dirt, forest ground, grass, dry grass. We have our gravel. Another form of gravel. Third gravel. Gravel with grass. Gravel with some more grass. Then we have dry grass. Dirt. More dirt and gravel mix. Another form of darker gravel. Then we have our final dirt option. We have all standard trees. And we do have some paintable plants, some custom paintable plants. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. We've got a small bush, medium bush, big bush, super big. Then we have short blueberries, big blueberries, small weeds, a para. We have that one. Oh, we have that one. We have that one. More of those. We have Rumex, small meadow grass, medium meadow grass, and dry grass. Got our 3 different states of grass here. Various paintable wildflowers. Blueberries, and then the bushes. We have our dirt, our animal mud, our gravels, forest ground. We have our paintable plowed ground, and then paintable cultivated ground, and more of those textures. Now, we've already talked about the farmhouse that is positioned right here. We do indeed have the ability to sell all of the farm buildings if we want to in new farmer mode. And as I said earlier, in farm manager mode or start from scratch, these buildings do not exist. They are not pre-placed. So we've got our sleep trigger there. Just to show you, this map does indeed have the 100 Elm Creek collectibles. Got a barn, just a simple deco barn from Elm Creek. Got our deco garage from Elm Creek. Then over here we have our flat bottom bin, and that consists the main starting farm. Now, I think for this video, I'm just going to forego the fly around because, quite frankly, there's really only 2 points of interest at this point: the extreme eastern edge of the map, and then the extreme south central part of the map. Everything else is basically grass. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump in my pickup truck, and let's make our way over to those points of interest. We do have a rentable train. There is a train sell point. The train silo is all the way over here to the extreme eastern edge of the map. This is a standard size map. So we know this for a few different reasons. One, we have a general idea as how fast it takes us to move across the map, and we're moving across the map at a pretty good clip at 75 miles per hour. And two, if we look at the mini map down in the lower left corner, in the center of that mini map there are coordinates, and right now the one coordinate is right at 2005. If this was a 4x map, that coordinate would be much, much larger. So the largest a standard size coordinate can be is 2048 by 2048. That would be in the extreme southeast corner of the map. And then on a 4x map, the largest that coordinate would be 4096 by 4096. So being about as far to the east as we can get, and having our coordinate set at just over 2000, we know that this is a standard size map. So here we have our train dump and fill ports. We have our rent train trigger over here. Around the back of this building, we have our trailer dump and fill ports with respect to dumping into the silo and then pulling product out of the silo. That is right there. Across the street, we have a grain sell point. Now, while the grain sell point does have the corner markers, you notice doesn't have the floaty blue icon. You do see those floaty blue icons at the train transfer station. Now, as we are driving down to the animal dealer and to our vehicle workshop and such, let's talk about our scoring metric for the map. We are in the map a full point with respect to production being built in or areas set aside for such. Wilderness style maps like this one here tend to get a little bit of a pass on this particular requirement because we literally have the entirety of the map that we could put towards production placement. Now this map does have, as we will see down here in a moment, a little bit of area already carved out, if you will, for production placement. With respect to the ability to sell all of our basic and crops, animal outputs, and production items, we are going to give the map a full point there as well. We're not going to deduct the fact that it does not have a wood sell point or a log sell point. The farms can indeed be customized, so we are going to give the map a full point there as well. Here we have our animal dealer. We have our animal dealer Bale sell point. Our animal dealer animal trigger. Here we have our vehicle dealer. Now we're just going to lease the Mahindra just to see where it spawns in at. So we got a decent area for our vehicles to spawn in at. We may be able to get 2 rows of vehicles or implements as long as they're not overly large in size here. Then off to the side of the building, we have our dealer trigger. Buy, customize, sell, repair, paint, and trade in. Trigger right there. Now, one thing that we do not have on this map is an fuel point. There is no fuel point pre-placed on this particular map. So you will need to put down your own area where you can buy fuel in. That was the area that I feel has kind of been set aside for placeables and other such things. With respect to buildings where appropriate are using the new texture technique as well as ground textures, we are going to give the map a full point there as well. Now I want to run back to the farm because I want to put down a couple animal pens because the description said custom animal food for sheep, cows, and chickens. So I want to go ahead and put down a chicken pen, a sheep pasture, and a cow pasture and see what those custom animal requirements are. Quickly buy an animal in. It would be nice if we're going to have custom animal feed requirements on a map that we go ahead and have the animal pens pre-placed. So you can see that we have a requirement for sheep. We have silage at 50% and hay at 50%. For our chicken, we have grain 100% effectivity. So that doesn't look overly different. We have chicken like wheat, barley, and sorghum. Then for our cows, we have total mixed rations 110%. Silage is 90% effective, and hay is 80% effective. So guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you think of American Farmlands? Is this a map that interests you? Or are you going to be playing this map in the near future? What are your all's thought processes on Sandbox style, or aka wilderness style maps like No Man's Land, Western Wilds, and American Farmlands? And until next time, happy farming.